Welcome. I'm so glad you could join us today. We are going to be sharing with you some information regarding an invention event that we are planning to be NAD-wide. This is an opportunity for K-12 students to do something hands-on in their classroom, in their school, and then go on to an NAD-wide event. So we're going to start off by just introducing ourselves. My name is Monica Nudd. I am the STEM coordinator at Andrews University, and my colleague here, Michael Bryson, he is an engineer who has been training me on design thinking and the engineering design process. We've been working together for a few months and have been able to do a pilot program this spring, which we will be sharing more with you about. First, I wanted to just show a video to give you an overview of what our hope is. So we want to share with you just this inspirational video. Make sure your sound's on so you can hear. This will give you a little taste of what we hope to do in the near future.
Welcome to NIC 2018!
Inventing is so fun for me because you can create anything that you want that everyone will use in their everyday life.
Just to see someone with your product and being happy with it is just like mind-blowing.
I know everyone has some problems and issues, and I think inventions are great because they solve them.
The best thing about inventing is a good chance to make new friends.
All across America and across the world, kids have been inventing inventions that solve problems in their lives. And they're bringing them here to the Henry Ford Museum of American Innovation, where they can present them side by side, the greatest innovations in history.
When you see thousands of kids and families and teachers getting together, all of them super excited about inventing, and all of them, they're just so proud to show what they came up with, is super, super powerful.
21st century skills is all about using your creativity, using your innovation, using your power to solve. I've been an educator for over 30 years. I've never seen a tool that is as powerful as Invention Convention.
Before I did Invention Convention, I wanted to be a doctor, I wanted to be a firefighter, I wanted to be a teacher. And I started inventing. I fell in love with the engineering process. And that's when I started looking into science camp. And that's when I started getting so inspired to make sure that this is a part of my life forever.
A lot of people think that NIC is a contest, and it's really not. I mean, yes, we give some awards, but the truth is everybody here has gained. They've gained experience, they've gained confidence, they've gained technical skills, and that makes them winners throughout their lives.
It was a life-changing experience, and I love to see people have a smile on their face when they have a problem that they need help with. And when I create inventions, it's like me giving back to my community.
It's been amazing to see my daughter and her growth, being able to stand in front of an audience, in front of judges, people that she's never met before, and vocalize a story of how she took nothing and made it into something. And to see her progress through it all, it's just been a wonderful experience.
I was part of the Invention Convention as a second grader back in the day, and the same ideas that I use every day in industry I used back then. Identifying my problem, understanding it, coming up with a solution, testing that solution.
Pollution is a huge problem and the world suffers from it every day. The snow straw is biodegradable and environmentally friendly, so plastic straws stay on our world forever, but ice straws, they just melt away when you're done.
Well, my friend Christopher, he got hit while he was playing lacrosse, and he got a concussion and he didn't know about it. What my product does is it's a sticker that goes on helmets, so when the sticker is hit with 95 Gs, it will turn red up here or down here.
When you're going to use the oven, you would open the oven, grab the oven mat, and then you would flip it onto the inside of the oven so that when you reach in, you won't get burned, and when you're finished, you would just grab the handle and flip it back outside.
When you take a shower and you turn on the hot water is not instantly hot, it's cold. So I wanted to find a way to save that water.
When I use my hand towels in the bathroom or when guests come over, the next time I use them, which is the next day, they'll be all wet. And I decided that I will make an invention that will not only dry my towels for my next usage, but make sure that they're not stinky or stink up the bathroom. It is important to make something for the world because what if we didn't have cell phones, we couldn't call for help? And what if we didn't have cameras, we couldn't take pictures of moments that you really love?
This is everyone's world, and I believe that everyone should try to be a part of making it a better place. If everyone pitches in and tries to do something to help a problem that they have, then eventually, someday, all the most important problems could be solved.
Awesome. So I hope that video inspired you. This event that we're planning is very similar to a science fair. So if you've ever participated in a science fair, this would be an invention fair. So why do we need to teach engineering and invention today, right? As many of you know that STEM is very big in our society currently. Everybody wants their kids to be ready to go on to the next level, but STEM is a big push these days. And E in STEM is engineering, and many of us educators aren't trained in engineering. However, we are being asked to teach engineering these days, and the next generation science standards already have engineering standards. Sorry about that. So they already exist. Engineering standards for K-12 exist, and we might not be used to them. They might not even be in our by design science textbook. However, our parents and our students need these skills. And as a great author wrote in the book Education, it's the work of true education to develop the power to train the youth to be thinkers and not mere reflectors of other man's thoughts. And this does just that. So here's a book recommendation if you have some time this summer and like to read. I read this book recently by a former professor of Harvard that suggests there's 7 skills that our teens need to be ready to be successful in the workplace today. Critical thinking, problem solving, collaboration, adaptability, innovation and entrepreneurship, oral and written communication, analyzing information, curiosity, and imagination. What if we could teach all of these skills in just one project? And we have tried, and it is possible.
All right, so briefly, we're just going to describe what we tried this last spring. So during the spring quarter or semester, Monica and I both were working at our local elementary schools. So I'm here in Idaho, and I was working at our Hilltop Adventist school. We had a very small school here. I was working with grades 3 through 8. So 3 through 8 were all in one classroom, and then there was only 7 students in those grades. So it definitely works on a small scale. And then Monica was working with more students, so she'll talk about that. But the process that we went through is we taught the students about the engineering design process. We told them, what are the steps, what are the things that you need to do to solve a problem, and then we helped them identify a problem and then work through that and invent a solution. So in my class, we had 2 groups, and each group came up with an invention idea, and then they worked together with their group to create their invention. And then at the end, they were able to showcase that and present it to the rest of the school.
And as Michael said, I also was working with a group. I had a 7th and 8th grade classroom, and I broke up the students into groups of 3 to 4 in a group, and the students had to choose a problem that either affected them at school, or some of them asked their parents, their relatives, what were issues that they were having, and then they had to design and build a prototype. What I really love about this project is that you do not need expensive equipment. You don't need training in robotics or other technologies. We just used recyclable material, cardboard, plastic water bottles, things that would otherwise go in the recycle bin. That's what they used to create their prototype. This can be done in the classroom just in 1 quarter and 9 weeks with as little as once a week. So I know we're all stretched and we need to do as much as we can in a short amount of time. This could be a Friday project, or you could fit it in however best fits in your schedule. But this is something that we would hope that many of our teachers will plan to do this coming school year 2021 and 2022 so that your students can be ready to go on to Andrews University event that will be next summer. So here are a couple problems that our students chose.
Right, the first two were the ones that my students had. The hot lunch line, they wanted to try to speed up the process of dispensing their desserts so that the lunch people could have time to eat as well. And then the desk holders are a really cool idea. They wanted to keep the desks from moving around so you can keep the classroom arrangement fixed, especially for COVID spacing.
Yeah, my students wanted to create a Tupperware organizer because one of their persons that they connected with said that they were losing their Tupperware. Another of my middle school students wanted a room surveillance because they had younger sibling, and their room in their house was not secure. Another one chose to focus on closing a room door, and then we had an ice cream sticky fingers prototype that would prevent your fingers from getting sticky. So these were all problems that the group chose on their own, and then they researched and had to come up with a solution. Again, very creative, imaginative, and then had to present their solution. So what was the outcome of this that we did? We created problem solvers in our rooms. We built confidence that each student is capable and creative and has the ability to work together and help solve a real world problem today. They don't have to wait until they're grown up. They don't have to wait until after they're done college. They have an important job to do now. So we tied this in with spiritual connections each class to make sure that they were learning and growing in their relationship with Christ as well.
All right, so looking forward to next summer, summer 2022, we're planning to have this classroom component this coming school year, and then summer 2022 would be the event where you could say the winners or the top inventions from each region or whatever will come together and meet for an event at Andrews, and they will showcase their events, kind of like the science fair, like we showed at the beginning with the video, and then they will be doing this. They'll be showing off their projects. They'll be collaborating and interacting with each other that way. And this would be the first event. So we want it to be an annual event. So every year it would rotate to another university. So another, say Southern, or we could go to Walla Walla or something like that. So every year it would rotate around, and each of the universities in the different regions would get a chance to host the event. And then students every year could be working in their classrooms, and then in the summer they would come and participate in the event. So we want to invite you as educators, as leaders in your conference or union, to participate with us in this. So if you are a teacher and you want to be trained, definitely let us know. We're also hoping to be training the unions and the conferences. And so if this is something that you would like to participate with us in, we have a survey where you can give us some just brief information so we can contact you and keep you in the loop and start scheduling times that we can schedule, that we can train teachers. So we have a link in the chat right now, as well as a QR code if you want to scan it with your phone. So you can go to that, and that will take you to the survey.
Thank you for listening.